sometimes things do not always go as expected.
Well, that's a little concerning. I cycle the gear again.
Last aircraft calling, say again?
Yeah, TBM 901 Papa X-ray is on the mist at Alpine, like to go to Idaho Falls, looking for vectors around the weather.
West 1624, contact Salt Lake Center,
Ice light on.
127.7, good day.
Someone once told me the best safety tool you can have when you're flying an airplane is a credit card. So you can call it a night, you can go rent a car, get a hotel, whatever you got to do, and go wherever makes the most sense. And of course, 8 flight to save some money to make up for it later, and to find the best divert option in the moment when things change.
That was the very last thing I wanted to do right now.
There's a lot going on this flight. You know, I said from the very beginning we'd probably end up in Idaho Falls because of the weather. It was currently below minimums in Alpine and forecast to be right around minimums. It's an approach that doesn't get you down very low. It's in the mountains. It gets you down to about 700 feet AGL. It spans 6,800 feet of vertical from beginning to end. And so, you know, there's just a lot to go on in that approach. It's not the kind of approach you want to shoot if you think you might have to go missed.
What's that?
That's a wonderful question.
You know, we're flying along from Las Vegas to Alpine, just about to Salt Lake, you know, halfway. And as we're heading back into the clouds at 31,000 feet, turn the inertial separator on. And very shortly thereafter, there's kind of a little poof sound.
Oh, because we're back a little further, you know, into high bleed for a minute.
Oh.
A little chillier.
Yeah, it definitely got a little cold. Well, now we have an airplane that doesn't have heat, and
Clearly, like, cabin pressure was holding, troubleshooting everything. There's nothing in the POH for that.
Interestingly, there's a little note card here in the pressurization and air conditioning emergency procedures. I wonder why that could be.
that's convenient.
So, but we tried you know, everything we could think of to try to resolve it, reset things. And when that didn't work, you know, it just started to get kind of cold. It was clear it wasn't an emergency. There's nothing, you know, to worry about immediately other than just the fact that it's starting to get a little cold in the cabin.
Center TBM 1 Papa X-ray.
So we're flying along. I was thinking, well, maybe we should just go into Salt Lake. And as I started asking Center about the weather there, I mean, there's all kinds of weather on the radar.
TBM 1 Papa X-ray, Salt Lake Center, go ahead.
Yeah, what have rides been like into Salt Lake?
The ride's been pretty poor, kind of along your route of flight and ease.
And they're talking about moderate to severe turbulence in the descent. So I was thinking, well, if this, you know, if it doesn't get too cold too quickly, we're almost at top of descent into Alpine anyway. We might as well just, you know, push on and go a little further.
Is that the same for descent into Salt Lake City too?
Yeah, it's the descent into Salt Lake on that Carter side. It seems like the Bear side, that western gate, is mostly smooth, but the eastern gate having some bad rides on the descent.
By the time we come, I mean, the thing is, we're almost at the top of descent.
And as we got closer, you know, I was still thinking, well, you know, the weather's maybe not going to work into Alpine. You know, this moderate and severe turbulence down in Salt Lake wasn't really in the forecast. So is that going to extend further north for us as well? What's that going to be like? Severe turbulence in the mountains is really not something you want to mess with, and certainly wasn't something I wanted to mess with on top of everything going on.
Yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray.
Denver 901 Papa X-ray, Salt Lake Center.
Yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray, what have rides been like in the descent, and is it any better off towards Pocatello or Idaho Falls versus further east?
November 901 Papa X-ray. I just heard part of that. Understand you're ready for your descent. Descent at pilot's discretion. Maintain 1-2000. Alpine altimeter is 29903. By half latest flight.
29903 discretion to 1-2000. And I guess, yeah, just wondering for now what the rides have been like in the descents, and if it's any better off towards Idaho Falls or Pocatello versus Alpine.
901 Papa X-ray. I haven't had too many aircraft along your route of flight descending with a ride report low altitude. I've had some light chop throughout though.
Okay, anybody going into like Idaho Falls or something, or still light chop?
November 901 Papa X-ray. Don't have anyone in Idaho Falls now.
Basically, they didn't have any information. So I was like, well, we'll push onward. It was looking like Alpine was still below minimums, so I didn't really want to shoot that approach and have to go missed. It's the worst thing about an approach like that. I mean, you know, we're talking, it starts at 12,000, the mist is 12.5, and it takes you down to like 6,300 feet. So there's more than 6,500 feet of vertical on this approach. The worst part is not shooting the approach in the mountains at night in some snow. It's climbing back out with a bunch of ice and through a bunch of ice and things like that. So it really isn't an approach that I want to shoot, you know, thinking that I'm going to have to go mist. You know, if I think I'm going to shoot the mist on an approach like that, I'm not going to shoot the approach in the first place because that's just dumb.
Okay. So our 1992 is going to be AWAS and Alpine.
Alpine Airport. Automated weather observation 0, 0, 5, 3, Zulu. Wind 0, 80 at 5 knots. Visibility 1 and 1/2. Mid. Sky condition broken at 200. Overcast at 1,700. Temperature 0 Celsius. Dew point 0 Celsius.
What are you thinking?
I am thinking we...
400.
Well, actually, one second. I want to see...
Okay.
Right about that time, Sunder calls up and starts giving us vectors around some moderate to heavy precipitation that she's shown on her radar.
November 91 Papa X-ray, you have some moderate precipitation. You're 10 to 11 o'clock, 20 miles. Your route of flight to east of that by about 8 to 10 miles. But I do have another small area about your 1230 and 4-5 miles. It's about 0 miles southwest of Alpine Airport. 7 to 8 miles away. I think you can get it all.
91 Papa X-ray.
Which we weren't shown on the next shot. We're not painting anything on the onboard weather radar. Mostly snow. It's hard to say. There's a few wind turbines, farms and things out there that are going to generate false ground clutter returns for them from the next rad. And so I'm looking at all of this, listening to what she's trying to tell me about all this weather, and trying to figure out, you know, what's where, and is it where I know that the false returns probably are? Is it somewhere else? Does it correlate with something I'm painting somewhere? And, you know, suddenly there's just a whole lot going on, because she's talking about heavy precipitation. We're in the clouds. We're like gonna pick up some ice in the mountains if there's precip. And, I don't know where any of this weather is that she's talking about, really.
And Center 1 Papa X-ray, if we went direct to Idaho Falls, would that keep us clear of all that weather?
For 91 Papa X-ray, did you want to change destination to Idaho Falls now?
We're considering it, but I guess for the moment, is that is direct Idaho Falls clear of all that weather?
November 91 Papa X-ray, I'd probably vector you a little bit east around it, not quite direct Idaho Falls. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I think let's do that for now, and if you can give us a heading for the moment, that'd be great.
November 91 Papa X-ray, roger. Flight heading 350, this will be a vector to the Idaho Falls Airport.
Okay, we're clear to Idaho Falls by 350 for now, 1 Papa X-ray. Turn the prop de-ice on as well, so we've got that when we start to send it. I think we'll just wait till we're through this.
And then make a decision.
And then start the descent.
November 91 Papa X-ray, advise information Bravo, visual approaches runway 3 and use at Idaho Falls.
1 Papa X-ray.
November 91 Papa X-ray, turn left heading 300.
Left 300, 1 Papa X-ray.
There's that moderate.
Oh, that's not moderate, that's light. You see nothing yet.
Oh boy. Oh, this is...
November 91 Papa X-ray, do you have a little bit, some pockets of some moderate precipitation, now a little bit of heavy precipitation between you and Idaho Falls. Does a 260 heading look good for you?
We can try 260 if that's what you're showing.
November 91 Papa X-ray, yeah, I'm going to have to cut you over at some point. I think that'll be better. Turn left heading of actually 250 at this point. Turn left heading 250.
Okay, left 250, 1 Papa X-ray.
November 91 Papa X-ray, and descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 1-2000.
Yeah, discretion of 1-2000 for 1 Papa X-ray. I guess how far until we're kind of past this weather? We might wait for the descent till then.
November 91 Papa X-ray, say again?
Yeah, I guess how far until we're past that weather? We might just wait on the descent till then.
November 91 Papa X-ray, the moderate precipitation is presently your 12 o'clock, just 18 miles northwest of you. Just a couple pockets.
Okay, and this heading should keep us clear of that?
November 91 Papa X-ray, it'll keep you south of it, but I do have some moderate precipitation south. November 91 Papa X-ray, amend altitude, descend and maintain 16,000.
Okay, descend and maintain 16,000 for 1 Papa X-ray, and I guess we're not really showing much on our radar here, but can you just describe a little bit better what you're showing and what the path to the airport looks like?
November 91 Papa X-ray, roger. Moderate precipitation, now you're 12 o'clock and 8 miles. It's just about 2 or 3 mile radius.
Okay, so this heading is going to kind of take us around that and then back towards Idaho Falls between some stuff.
November 91 Papa X-ray, this is a heading to go south of the heavy precipitation.
Okay, and then once we get past it, it's clear we're going to go through some moderate at some point anyway.
November 91 Papa X-ray, no. I'm going to keep you clear of the heavy precipitation, but there is moderate precipitation. If you'd like further left turn, I can offer you that.
Okay, is that any better, or is there anything off to the right that looks good?
Skyler 6465, climb and maintain 15,000, moderate to heavy precipitation along your route of flight for the next 10 miles.
Climb maintain 15,000, Scott 5465.
Number 91 Papa X-ray, if you'd like to vector out to the east, I can do that. I'd have to vector you northeast of the airport and then out to the west.
Okay, so if we go northeast of the airport, does that keep us clear of the moderate as well?
November 91 Papa X-ray, yeah, if you turn directly north now, I can't give you direct Idaho Falls, but I'd have to turn you to about a 005.
Okay, yeah, let's try 005 for now.
November 91 Papa X-ray, roger, turn right heading 005.
Right turn 005, 1 Papa X-ray, thanks.
Alpine Airport, automated weather observation 0115 Zulu.
Suddenly, the workload just starts to get to be a bit much, and I'm like, okay, let's just go to Idaho Falls. So we start heading that way, and about then I listen to the AWAS at Alpine again, and the ceiling has gone up to now 1,300. So I'm like, well, that's well above minimums, that should work. Now, I don't really trust the AWAS here too much in general, but particularly here in the mountains, usually the best weather observation is not an AWAS, an ASOS. It's an observer on the ground, or at least a webcam. And I didn't have any way to get a webcam, so I figured I'd call the guy plowing the runway. I figured that was about as good an option as any.
Yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray, we'd actually like to change our, if we change our destination back to Alpine, is everything pretty clear from here to High Rob and in?
November 91 Papa X-ray, okay, I understand you'd like to go back to Alpine now. You're clear direct to High Rob, then direct to Alpine Airport. Descend and maintain 13,000, Alpine altimeter 29990. Verify you do have the latest weather.
Saw that the AWAS had lifted to 1,300. I figured I'd call him and see what it was really like. And so he told me it had lifted a little bit. You could see halfway up these mountains.
Yeah, we have the weather. We're clear to Alpine by direct, High Rob direct down to 13,000, and it was a 29901 for 1 Papa X-ray.
And it's 7,000 to 8,000 feet. So that's well above the 6,300 foot minimums. And we'll give it a shot. So that seemed like our best bet at that point. It took us away from the weather that the controller was talking about and just into Alpine. So I figured, well, if we're gonna get somewhere, we might as well get on the ground. Sounds like we can get in pretty easily. So we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray, could we get vectors for the straight in 1-3 at High Rob?
November 91 Papa X-ray, you're clear direct High Rob at this time. I can't actually vector you for the approach, but you're clear direct High Rob, expect the straight in.
Okay, direct High Rob for the, we'll expect the straight in 1 Papa X-ray.
November 91 Papa X-ray, turn right heading 120, vector to High Rob, when able to proceed direct High Rob.
Okay, yeah, we're going direct High Rob at this time, 1 Papa X-ray.
What is last weather in Alpine?
Well, that guy, I don't know if you were listening.
No.
He was just saying he can see halfway up the mountain.
Okay, that's...
You can monitor the radio number 2.
November 91 Papa X-ray, did you want the RNAV Mike or RNAV November 13 approach?
The RNAV November 13 for 1 Papa X-ray.
November 91 Papa X-ray, roger. And I have no notice for Alpine. You did say you had the latest weather?
Affirmative.
November 91 Papa X-ray, roger. Cross High Rob, outer above 12,000, cleared straight in RNAV November runway 13 approach, Alpine Airport.
High Rob, outer above 12,000, cleared straight in RNAV 13 November approach, 1 Papa X-ray.
West 1624, contact Salt Lake Center,
Ice white on.
127.7, good day.
A little bit ice here.
24, good day.
2,400.
November 91 Papa X-ray, just have one area of moderate precipitation. It is about 3 miles northwest of Alpine Airport and about 5 miles wide.
1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray. Change to advisory frequency approved and report cancellation or arrival. I won't hear you on the ground. In fact, my radios are pretty poor in your area, below 12,000. Report your arrival through flight service, please.
Okay, change to advisory, Wilco, 1 Papa X-ray, thanks, out. Okay, so the only thing to go is the boots. We got just a thin layer of ice there.
Emirates 41 Papa Super, contact Salt Lake Center 132.4.
You may not need the boots for
today.
small layer like that.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah, you need a little more.
Alpine traffic, TBM 1 Papa X-ray is about a 15-mile final, 13 Alpine. As we're using the radar, it gets a little tricky because of the mountains. So, expect 20 miles.
Skywest 5465, contact Salt Lake Center 124.35. And before you go, say right conditions in the
At
climate.
moderate shock
1,700.
or light to moderate shock at the moment. Sky 5465 and 12435.
Sky 5465, 124.35. This is say again, ride conditions.
Continuous light to moderate shock, Sky 5465.
Sky 5465, thank you for that report.
No worries.
It's 4322, continuous light chop 330.
42, roger.
There's that high bleed.
Contact Salt Lake Center 132.4. Good day.
There's that precipitation.
4322, say right conditions, 330.
Hey, there's Vasva, 9,200 feet.
Salt Lake, good evening, Lufthansa 455, level 330.
Lufthansa 455.
Gear down. Looks like we got some heat back.
Yeah, it does feel a little warmer.
But it seems like on the high bleed, does a little better.
Lufthansa 455, thank you. Yeah, we pretty much have the same ride conditions.
Lufthansa 455, roger.
Well, that's a little concerning.
32.4, good day.
324, Lisa 754.
I cycle the gear again.
27.7, Skywest 3717.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. We got 3 green this time. Lovely.
Thunder American 2009, checking on 320, constant light chop, looking for a better ride.
Yeah, there's that heat again.
Yeah, swinging down another 1,000 feet.
Ride will stay here, American 2009, thanks.
Flaps. Off.
Minimums.
That was the very last thing I wanted to do right now.
I know. Well, at least it's not freezing.
course, we got on the approach. There's a snow squall just sitting over the approach path over here. And as we head into that, we start picking up ice. Not too bad. It's a fair amount of ice, but it's an airplane that handles ice really well. It's certified for that. It does it all day, every day. Again, not something I want to do for, 6,000 feet down and 6,000 feet up on this approach, though. So we head in, go to put the landing gear down, and no nose gear. So I cycle the gear, got a green light, figure well. So far so good, we're almost there. We'll be out of the clouds here in another 1,000 feet and head on down to land. Get down to minimums, nothing, it's pitch black. You can't see a thing with or without the landing lights. And we just immediately execute the mist. It's a non-precision approach. We could have stayed at that altitude for a little bit longer until we got to the mist approach point, but by then I was like, I want to get the hell out of here. I don't want to mess around with this. I don't want to have to climb through any more of this than I have to. And so go mist. It's also tricky to land from that point then, because you're basically at the runway at 700 feet. But so we immediately executed the mist. You see that on the webcam, and got the hell out of there.
Center TBM 901 Papa X-ray.
Last aircraft calling, say again?
Yeah, TBM 901 Papa X-ray is on the mist at Alpine. Like to go to Idaho Falls looking for vectors around the weather.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger, understand, mist approach, execute the mist approach procedure, climb and maintain 14,000, and the Alpine altimeter 29990.
29990, 14,000, we're executing the mist, 1 Papa X-ray.
So we start heading towards Idaho Falls. We get on top at like 16,000 feet out of the ice, and then we start getting this vibration, presumably some ice on the propeller blades shedding ice in different ways between different blades. And basically the way that system works is it heats 2 of the blades for 90 seconds and then it heats the other 2 for 90 seconds. So somewhere in there's a minute or 2 window for some ice to be shedding off of a couple blades that's not shedding from the others, and you get some imbalance, at least some vibration. But it's a little concerning when the engine starts vibrating. So then it's just even more impetus to get on the ground right away.
And can we get higher for 1 Papa X-ray to stay out of the icing?
November 901 Papa X-ray, say requested altitude.
I guess, do you have any PIREPs where the icing starts or ends?
November 901 Papa X-ray, that's the first icing report I've had. Climb at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 200. Just let me know if you'd like to stop somewhere below, and when able, you can give me the type and intensity of the icing and an outside air temperature.
Okay, it's been pretty much every temperature, and moderate mixed icing. We'll go up to 200. We'll let you know if we want to stop any time before that 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, you said moderate mixed, and I missed the temperature, and what altitude did you start to get it up?
I'd say we probably started picking it up about 12, and then it was just the whole way down at pretty much every temperature, but we're still picking some up here too.
November 901 Papa X-ray, okay, so surface through at least 13,000, thank you.
Yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray, can we stop the climb at 16 for now?
November 901 Papa X-ray, say again?
Can we stop the climb at 16,000 for now?
November 901 Papa X-ray, and then the altitude maintain 16,000.
Alpine 92, roger, I'll try and climb up.
Ice light off for the moment.
Alpine 92, say again, very fast.
Actually, there.
Yeah, I'll get a
Oh, we gotta heat back, take these stupid gloves off.
Alpine 92, climb and maintain.
I mean, the gloves were lifesavers when it was like freaking 40 degrees in here.
November 901 Papa X-ray, clear of the icing now.
Yeah, we're in between layers here for 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger. November 901 Papa X-ray, did you have any turbulence?
It's all been light turbulence the whole way for 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger.
I'm not sticking.
November 901 Papa X-ray, the Idaho Falls altimeter 2988, and advise information Bravo.
2988, we have Bravo 1 Papa X-ray. Yeah, this flight turned into a little more excitement than we bargained for. We were getting good weather reports out of Alpine, but got down there and couldn't see anything. On the approach, weighted on the gear, so we were a little cleaner to get down there. And on the approach, put the gear down. Didn't get a nose gear light, got a little gear fail light. So cycled the gear, got 3 green then, but didn't really matter.
What is that?
Because just gonna hang on for a minute, but yeah, Center 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, go ahead.
Yeah, what are you showing for weather from here to the airport?
November 901 Papa X-ray, say again.
What are you showing for weather from here to the airport?
November 901 Papa X-ray, show some moderate to heavy precipitation about 15 miles west of you, but clear north of that.
Okay, is it clear on this heading?
November 901 Papa X-ray, affirmative, yes. I'm vectoring you around that weather, and descent at pilot's discretion, maintain 1000.
Okay, down to 1000. Are they still calling it like 10,000 overcast or something for Idaho Falls?
November 901 Papa X-ray, I show the Idaho Falls 0053 weather observation, wind calm, visibility 10, scattered clouds at 3,600 and at 1000, and they have visual approaches runway 3 in use, just advising you have Bravo.
Okay, we have Bravo, and we're headed down to 1000 for 1 Papa X-ray, and we might, yeah, okay.
Number 91 Papa X-ray, roger. And if you feel like you need further turn to the right, or if you want to start closer to Idaho Falls, closer to a direct heading, just let me know.
And can we get vectors for the ILS 21, clear that weather for 1 Papa X-ray?
Number 91 Papa X-ray, the ILS is clear. Did you want to try the ILS and then circle to runway 3?
Yeah, we'd like to do that for 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger. Turn left heading 300, vector for final approach course.
Okay, left 300, 1 Papa X-ray, and that heading still looks clear, that moderate.
November 901 Papa X-ray, affirmative.
The prop de-ice light flickered at one point, and I kind of wonder if that vibration was the prop de-ice not working quite right or getting overwhelmed or something, and some ice on the prop. And Center 1 Papa X-ray has the airport site.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger. And would you like to continue for the ILS, or would you like the visual to runway 3?
We'd like the visual to runway, well, actually we want the visual for 2-1 for 1 Papa X-ray.
November 901 Papa X-ray, roger. Let me check with Tower and see if they can approve that.
Okay, for now can we get the visual for runway 3 and we'll go from there?
Number 901 Papa X-ray, cleared visual approach runway 3, Idaho Falls Airport.
Clear visual 3, Idaho Falls, 1 Papa X-ray. The weather was going to be bad, but it wasn't supposed to be quite this bad with all of these things going on top of it.
Papa X-ray, radar service is terminated. Contact Idaho Falls Tower 118.5. And if you'd like the visual approach to runway 21, if you'd still like that, just make your request with Tower.
Okay, over to Tower 1 Papa X-ray. Okay, well, the nice thing is down here, temperature is -2, so the static or the total air temperature is positive, and so all the ice is now coming off right here.
That's a lot of ice.
The gear again.
Yeah, let's hope the nose gear goes down. There we go.
Okay, going to flaps. That's back to flaps up. To speed up a little bit for any residual ice. Go ahead and turn the boots off. Okay, we got flaps as required for the moment, inertial separator, gear, and dampers off. Okay, get these landing lights back on, strobe on. Okay, flaps are coming full, speed's coming off. The ice, we're looking for 95 knots.
Airspeed.
We made it here to Idaho Falls. It's not a particularly fun flight, but that is why we have alternates and a lot of excess power with an airplane like this. But that was right at the edge of what you want to be doing. Not really what you want to be doing, but the edge of what you can do with an airplane like this. That's where we are. We got a rental car and call it a night.